big decision to call it a day to your VFL career.
Yeah, it's been, I suppose, a bit of a quick move, I suppose, but yeah, it was a decision not made easily, but I think it's the right decision for myself personally.
Tell us about some of the factors. You've had injury issues this year. Was that a factor right now?
Not right now, no. I certainly haven't obviously been able to get on the park this year and to I suppose play my most valuable role here is on field. Some other factors in regards to where I am with my footy career, where the club's at, have definitely played a pretty significant role.
Look, it's been a tough time for the club, for the Roosters, on and off the field, particularly off the field over the past 6 months or so. How much has that been a drain on you personally after such a long career here, when you've been through the good and the bad times?
It's been pretty significant. It's had a pretty major factor in my decision. It's been a bit unbearable at home to live with. My wife can attest to that. Certainly, you know, I've obviously lived through the really good times. I've seen the greatness of the place. And obviously the last 6 months have played a pretty major factor in my decision. It's not, you know, it's not an ideal situation for the club to be in, but you know, I think I've given all I can, and need probably a bit of separation. It's
hard too because you're so loyal to your teammates, and you know, you get out there and in any team situation you're playing for each other, and that's obviously been a factor in you staying on as long as you have.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy the competition that we play in. I enjoy watching the young guys come through. Even this year, a good crop of guys that come from country footy that have, I suppose, treaded the same path that I have. And it's, I suppose, why I played it for so long. It's probably one of the most difficult conversations. I've had a few with a few individual people, but one of the most difficult conversations to be in front of the group last night to announce it that I've probably had in my life. But you know, it's definitely the right time for me.
Let's go back to when you started here at the Roosters. We're going back to 2005 when you joined after it was a meteoric rise, wasn't it, at Redan? You came down from the Riverina, a rugby league background, hardly kicked in Australian rules football. Suddenly you're a premiership player with Redan.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get involved in Aussie rules with my wife's family back in Wagga, but we moved to Ballarat, and my footy career, I suppose, started to take a bit more of a step forward. Had a pretty good year as part of that 02, and was lucky enough actually to get an invite to pre-season here, and went through the slog with a few of the other younger guys from Redan, and went back home to Redan for a couple of years, and was lucky enough to get another invite. And yeah, 2005 came and played in a pretty successful club that had some senior players, but we were obviously played a lot of reserves footy. We played in the losing grand final against Williamstown, and 6 or 7 of my teammates in that team obviously went on to be premiership teammates at the senior level.
Gavin Krasiska was the coach then, and he brought in quite a lot of AFL experience at that time. It was before the North, in the first year it was before the North Melbourne alignment, and you played a development role, if you like, behind Mark Porter, who'd come via Carlton and North Melbourne. How did you find that initial period?
Well, it was fantastic because you obviously is exposed to the top level. I was able to play a bit of make my debut with him, you know, with him being around the place. And obviously, I have a bit of a relationship. He's involved with the AFLPA these days, so rekindled that relationship about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was just, I suppose, an experienced head around the place that that was, I suppose, a really good learning curve for me.
You're a young bloke at that stage, a young bloke in a hurry in a sense. You've come to the VFL, you want to play VFL seniors, and that first year you played 5. Now, most players would say, great taste, but you almost thought about saying, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to make it, I'll go back to Redan. But you were talked into it, you were in a fork in the road situation, and well, what's happened since? An AFL career, 3 premierships here at the Roosters. The decision to stay on, you must, well, there's a big smile on your face right now, it says it all.
Certainly, it certainly was. End of 2005, had a few testing times in my personal life, but one of the great decisions I made, with obviously a bit of influence from Fitzy at the time, and my family, was I had committed to Redan, and Redan were really good about it. They were actually strong in promoting their guys to go up and play VFL footy, so they understood the value of that, and yeah, I was lucky enough to get released from that, you might say, and re-signed and went on to play every game in 2006 in the senior team, and obviously Mark Porter left the club, but an opportunity was given to me, and we played in a prelim final the following year.
2008, history-making year, first premiership. 3 years later, 3 premierships in a row. Describe that era.
It was amazing, I suppose. A lot of people talk about, obviously we went alignment with the North Melbourne Kangaroos, and certainly we had some classy players coming to the team, but there was a pretty strong VFL contingent there, obviously led by Spider, Sean Maloney and Mark Gregg, and then there was a core group of young guys who came through I suppose from local clubs in the area, through the Rebels program into our team that are bona fide VFL, very good, great players that were able to maintain that group together, and look at it'll be an era that I don't know, will be very hard to repeat. And I think even the competition, like Sandringham went through that stage in the mid-noughties there, and we were probably the last one of it. And I think you're finding now that the competition's fairly even, that it's a bit of a toss between the top 4 sides, I think, by the end of the year. Okay,
you come through a great era, and players are going to come under the attention of AFL clubs. You're getting into your late 20s, but there's a bit of interest from some AFL clubs. You did a couple of tryouts, I guess. But tell us what it was like on that the night of the 2011 National Draft. You're sitting at home or watching it on television or on the computer. Tell us what happened that night, wherever you were.
No, I was lucky enough, actually. I didn't have Foxtel, so I didn't, because it was on Foxtel Live. I was around at Fitzy's place, watching it on the telly there. They'd obviously been in contact and said there was a chance that
talk about Geelong, of course.
Yeah, that there was going to be a chance that this will happen. They had late retirement. Obviously, Cameron Ling and Brad Alton's retired late in the piece, and yeah, until your name's called, I've had the nibbles and the bites and bits and pieces over the years that once my name was called, it was just elation. I could put full-time effort into my footy. 29 years of age, or years young, you're the oldest first-time draftee in AFL draft history, and I think it still stands. That's something special. 1 year at Geelong, and then you were delisted, but the AFL dream continued. Richmond came to the rescue. Yeah, I was lucky enough. Obviously, played 8 games in my debut year there at Geelong, and they obviously moved in a different direction. A few of their guys actually that they had concerns over injury-wise and come to, I suppose, be available again. And yeah, Richmond gave me an opportunity to go to training, and they had myself and Cam Wood there, and I was lucky enough to get on a rookie spot, knowing that Richmond played with 38 primary listed and 6 rookies, so there was plenty of opportunity to climb a wear over the pre-season and take a spot, I suppose, come January, so that I was available to be picked, and that's what happened. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I got at AFL level, because I suppose it opens your eyes, and it also shows you that VFL or state league footy is probably the toughest level of footy to play in the country.
And of course, it all came back to that journey here at the Roosters that made it all possible. Well, Orren, you've announced that the VFL playing days are over today, and brought a curtain down on a great career. But what about your playing days, full stop, if you like? I think there's a bit of life left in the legs yet.
Yeah, I certainly feel that I've obviously committed to play VFL footy this year, so I think I'm still capable of playing some football. I haven't made any decisions on what that'll be or what that'll look like at the moment, so I'll just let the next couple of weeks play out.
Over the years, at the end of each season, your name's always linked with some clubs. As I say, has he played too much AFL? Is he ready to retire? Well, you've defied that every time, but now you've made this call. I guess the phone may be running hot if it isn't already. And there's always the talk of you returning and finishing your career with Redan, where it all started. And it's not unusual for players at this level to do that. Have they been on the phone yet? And what's the chances of perhaps pulling on the boots of Redan before the end of the season?
I've certainly had a conversation with their president, David Linden, this morning. We also do some work together, so that ties in well. Yeah, look, there's a chance that'll happen, and obviously a discussion with my wife, and I'll just probably get back to just working out where I can just go and just have a kick at the footy and play a bit of a small role, I suppose, instead of being a major contributor.
We don't want to cut Redan out, but obviously there's a family link with Cruisewick too in the Central Highlands, where some of the kids play their juniors, and no doubt there's always the opportunity there as well.
Yeah, my ex-Redan Premiership teammate Ryan Knowles is obviously leading them, and there's another one that's been on the phone. But yeah, my daughters both play netball out there, and my wife's involved with a bit of coaching, and she's got some quite close friends that are involved out there. So you know, you're not going to close the door on anything, but we'll just wait and see what the next couple of weeks hold.
So we're watching towards the end of the where the registration period is. Look, the bottom line is you're keen to have a kick somewhere else to finish off your playing days. You've obviously your body, you've got it back on track. You're feeling good, and you'd like to finish your career at giving back, if you like, something at grassroots level.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, most definitely.
Well, Orren, congratulations. It's been a brilliant career. You're a legend of the North Ballarat Roosters, as a three-time premiership player. You're a VFL life member. You've got almost 200 games of VFL under your belt, and you've been an absolute tribute to the game. So well done on your career, and we look forward to seeing the next chapter of your football career. Orren Stephenson, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Dave.